Good morning everyone, we are group number 2 and today we are going to be talking about the effect that accuracy and fluency oriented English activities have in intensive intermediate English students' oral performance and vocabulary enhancement at the University of El Salvador Western Multidisciplinary Campus during semester 2, 2018. We also have our acknowledgements. First, the team would like to express sincere gratitude to advisor Professor Rosana de Trigueros for the continuous support of the study and related research. Also, to all of the intensive intermediate English 1 students who were part of the action research and the interventions. Special thanks to our families for their love and support, and finally God for giving us the opportunity to work together and carry out all of this. I'm going to talk about chapter 1, starting with the statement of the problem, that is accuracy and fluency oriented activities to enhance students' oral performance in intensive intermediate English 1 at the University of El Salvador Western Multidisciplinary Campus 2018. Now we have the description of the problem, that it was based on observation and dialogues with teachers and practitioners carried out in the English groups. The research team noticed that the students showed deficiency in their vocabulary during the development of in-class activities. For the research team, in-class activities are related to the students' enhancement of vocabulary and oral performance because they are important in the production of the target language. Also, in-class activities affect students' oral production because if they do not practice, they will not improve their oral production. Without these activities, the students, they could not demonstrate that they are in fact learning. Also, vocabulary needs to be enhanced because without it, the students are stuck in their intermediate plateau, which means that they are comfortable with the words that they already know and they feel frustrated learning new words, phrases, or expression. That's why the teachers must look for different activities to enhance students' vocabulary. Also, if they develop the same meaningless activities over and over, students might get bored and not enhancing their oral performance. Therefore, after observing this problem, the following research question came up. Will students from intensive intermediate English 1 enhance their oral performance and vocabulary during the development of in-class activities during semester 2, 2018? Now we have the research objective, starting with the general objective, that is to infer if in-class activities enhance students' vocabulary in oral performance at the University of El Salvador Western Multidisciplinary Campus during semester 2, 2018. Then we have the specific objectives that are to verify how in-class activities affect students' vocabulary enhancement, to verify which in-class activities enhance students' vocabulary, to identify how in-class activities affect students' oral performance, and to identify which in-class activities enhance students' oral performance. Then we have the hypothesis. We have two hypotheses. One of action, that is through the usage of in-class activities, students will enhance their oral performance and vocabulary. And then we have the hypothesis of change, that is, can students' oral performance and vocabulary be enhanced through the usage of accuracy and fluency oriented activities? Finally, we have the justification. That was that this research study was focused on how in-class activities affect students' oral performance and vocabulary enhancement in intensive intermediate English 1 students during semester 2, 2018. Also, this research study analyzed the relationship of the type of in-class activities and the enhancement of students' speaking skills. Based on the diagnosis carried out the second week of May, it was observed by the research team that the actual situation, that the students have difficulty with basic instruction while expressing themselves, that they don't know the meaning of some words, and that they tend to use them in the wrong context. Also, it was observed by the research team that the students enjoy in-class activities. However, the level of English was acceptable but not good enough due to the mistake that they committed while answering, because they had no idea on how to join ideas. Also, the ideal situation for the research team was that the usage of in-class activities will help intensive intermediate students to have a better development of vocabulary. Also, this study contributed to students to have a better understanding of vocabulary, and that in-class activities facilitate oral performance and vocabulary. That's why the research team seek out the most effective and meaningful activities. Also, teachers said to the research team that the students needed to improve their oral performance and that some extra classes to reinforce vocabulary were needed, as well as one of the possible solutions to this problem was that the teachers need to prepare vocabulary during the leading activities at the beginning of the class. Finally, this study will benefit the English language department to know the different problems linked to vocabulary in context that the students are facing inside of the classroom in oral activities. Also, it will benefit the English teachers of the English language department to make the right choice selecting the activities that they should apply in order to help students to learn more vocabulary. And finally, it will help the students of intensive intermediate English of the English language department to improve their oral performance using vocabulary in context.
Chapter 2, the present framework. So to start with, I will explain to you what the IIE improves 1998 stated that the main goal of teachers will be to give learners the ability to develop fluency and accuracy, especially in oral performance. So since our research project based on this intermediate English 1 students, I will explain to you what this means. So intensive intermediate English 1 students refers to the students that are on their way to develop fluency and accuracy. Students from first year of licenciatura en inglés o de enseñanza. I will explain to you also the different variables that we have in this research project. The first one is in-class activities. So based on what authors say, we must know that in-class activities should be developed well planned because there are different types of activities. We can make a clear difference between non-communicative and communicative activities. The first one refers to accuracy-oriented activities, which are based on activities such as cut fields, fill in the blanks, and also drillings. These activities are helpful in order to improve the vocabulary and grammar rules that the students should master in order to use the language and to communicate. We must know that in-class activities are really meaningful because students can practice what they have studied previously. Then we have the other type of in-class activities, which is fluency-oriented activities. These activities such as role plays, impromptu speeches, presentation, discussion groups, etc. so important because students can practice with real-life situations. As stated by Scahan in 1998, some activities are oriented to get students out of their comfort zone. However, there are some activities that are not meaningful in order to make students go beyond that they must do. So in-class activities should be well planned because some teachers develop activities that are not meaningful. In other words, we can say that we can use oriented activities such as accuracy and fluency in order to make students develop oral performance, especially. Then we can move on with the second variable, which is vocabulary. As stated by Smith 2010, we can say that it's a process in which students process and introduce new vocabulary to their mind. Also, Smith 2010 said that it's the knowledge of words and meanings that a student have and use in order to communicate and to understand what other people say. Vocabulary is really important because some students know the grammar rules, some students know how to create correct sentences. However, they do not know how to express their ideas, how to express or how to talk with other people. That is why vocabulary is really important. Vocabulary has such a huge impact in what the students are doing during the in-class activities, because if they do not know the vocabulary to express their ideas, to talk with other people, they will not participate during the in-class activities. So with activities such as filling the gaps, reading, we can improve the vocabulary because we can introduce new words for all the students. Then we have the vocabulary according to 100,001. It's important because students must understand what other people say, but do not know how to process the information on how to talk with other people. We have two types of vocabulary. The first one, productive, and the second one, receptive. Receptive vocabulary refers to the one that the students have in order to understand what other people say. They use this vocabulary while listening to other people and also while reading. Then we have productive vocabulary. It's the one that students use when they use the language, when they are talking, when they are speaking or writing. It's the one that students use during to express or to talk with other people. It's important to make the difference because some students can understand what other people say, can understand what teachers are asking them. However, they do not know how to answer the question, how to talk with other people. So some students can make correct sentences, can understand the grammar rules, but do not know how to speak. That is why we can use a lot of many different activities to introduce new vocabulary. In Intensive Intermediate English 1, it's important to use different activities in order to make students enhance their vocabulary, because in this subject, students must master different lists of words, because when they want to express, want to talk, they need different vocabulary. They need to know different words in order to not repeat the same words or the same meanings. Then we have the last variable, which is oral performance. So, stated by Brown in 1994, we can say that it's a process in which students construct, process, and receive information from other people and also from them. Students read and can listen to other people to improve their oral performance. As we must know, oral performance is the most difficult activity that students can develop. At the end of the day, students can listen to other people, can read, however, they sometimes have problems with speaking. So that is why some authors say that oral performance is really difficult to develop. In Intensive Intermediate English 1, students must master and must develop fluency and accuracy. That is why some teachers must know that there are different activities to develop this skill, especially. We can say that oral performance is really important and it's really difficult for students because they are going to use the language to communicate, to talk with other people. They are going to use the language in real life situations. So that is why oral performance is important for all the students. I can say that these variables affect each other because if we do not develop meaningful in-class activities, the students will not improve the vocabulary in oral performance. However, I can say that the students also have to work and have to practice a lot because vocabulary and oral performance is pretty difficult to develop. At the end of the day, accuracy and fluency-oriented activities or in-class activities should be developed. Both of them should be developed in in-class activities to make students enhance their vocabulary and oral performance.
Okay, good morning. I'm going to continue with chapter 3, the methodological design. First, we have the description of the environment. A researcher carried out the study, accuracy and fluency-oriented activities, enhance students' oral performance and vocabulary in Intensive Intermediate English 1 at the University of El Salvador Western Multidisciplinary Campus in the urban zone of Santa Ana, in the University of El Salvador Western Multidisciplinary Campus, and more specifically in classrooms A3 and 3B of this campus. Now, let's continue with the units of observation.
The units of observation were students from Intensive Intermediate English 1 of the University of El Salvador Western Multidisciplinary Campus. During this research, researchers didn't focus on certain characteristics that were not relevant for our investigation, such as age or gender. The only important fact in this study was that they were students of the Intensive Intermediate English 1 course and therefore be part of the Licenciatura en Idioma Inglés Opción de Enseñanza. This actual research was focused in accuracy in class activities and fluency-oriented activities developed by teachers and students during the class, and also in vocabulary enhancement in oral performance. Now let's continue with the sampling procedure. The research project was directed to a representative sample out of the whole population of Intensive Intermediate English 1 groups of the University of El Salvador Western Multidisciplinary Campus. The target population was chosen by convenient sampling because of the availability and easy access to the teacher and the students. The group selected was group number 6. The sampling population in a total amount of 30 subjects of study. Now let's move on to the operationalization of variables. Well, first we have the research question. Will students from Intensive Intermediate English 1 enhance their vocabulary and oral performance during the development of in-class activities in semester 2, 2018? And from this research question, we created the general objective and a hypothesis. The general objective is to infer if in-class activities enhance students' vocabulary and oral performance at the University of El Salvador Western Multidisciplinary Campus during semester 2, 2018. From the general objective, we also created 4 specific objectives. Now let's return to the research question. As I said before, we also created a hypothesis. The hypothesis is, through the use of in-class activities, students will enhance their oral performance and vocabulary. From the hypothesis, we also got the variables, the units of observation, and the instruments. Now, let's move to the variables. There is a dependent and an independent variable. The independent one is in-class activities, and the dependent one are vocabulary and oral performance. From these variables, we also got indicators, accuracy-oriented activities, such as language proficiency, feedback, correct sentences, etc. And also the fluency-oriented activities, such as opinion gatas, simulation, role plays, etc. With the help of these indicators, we also created the instruments, which were an observation guide and a questionnaire. All these related and taking into account the objectives. Now let's move on to the operationalization of variables. Well, first we have the research question. Will students from Intensive Intermediate English 1 enhance their vocabulary and oral performance during the development of in-class activities in semester 2, 2018? And from this research question, we created the general objective and a hypothesis. The general objective is to infer if in-class activities enhance students' vocabulary and oral performance at the University of El Salvador Western Multidisciplinary Campus during semester 2, 2018. From the general objective, we also created 4 specific objectives. Now let's return to the research question. As I said before, we also created a hypothesis. The hypothesis is, through the use of in-class activities, students will enhance their oral performance and vocabulary. From the hypothesis, we also got the variables, the units of observation, and the instruments. Now, let's move to the variables. There is a dependent and an independent variable. The independent one is in-class activities, and the dependent one are vocabulary and oral performance. From these variables, we also got indicators, accuracy-oriented activities, such as language proficiency, feedback, correct sentences, etc. And also the fluency-oriented activities, such as opinion gap task, simulation, role plays, etc. With the help of these indicators, we also created instruments, which were an observation guide and a questionnaire. All these related and taking into account the objectives. Now let's continue with the research techniques. The research team took the indicators from the operationalization of variables and created 3 different instruments to collect data. Such techniques were the following. First, we created an observation checklist that was used to gather information about the dependent and the independent variable. Then, we created a questionnaire that was used to see if the general objective was achieved after all the interventions. And finally, we used an oral examination to evaluate the students' oral performance after all the interventions. Now, let's continue with the method to analyze the information. Well, after we applied all the instruments and we gathered the information, we organized this data according to the objectives and also according to the variables. It is important to mention that we also used the program Microsoft Excel 2016 to create different graphs to compare and contrast the information. Now let's move on to validity and reliability. 2 important criteria were used. First, construct validity was used by researchers to ensure that the operationalization of variables was taken into account to create the different instruments. Also, researchers verified that the indicators really measured what they were supposed to measure. On the other side, we also used content validity because we asked some experts in the area of English of the University of El Salvador, Western Interdisciplinary Campus. Finally, it is important to mention that the participation of the population was developed in suitable conditions, avoiding any factors that could affect reliability. Now we have the ethical aspects. Well, it is important to mention that the researchers were respectful and kind to every single individual during the process. We used the non-maleficence norm because we didn't damage anybody's integrity during the process. Also, we respected the expectations of confidentiality because all the information was anonymous and because we didn't reveal information that the participants didn't want to be revealed. Finally, the research team was committed to be open to all types of criticism and ideas, avoiding any type of alterations to the data obtained during the process.
To continue with Chapter 4, Analysis and Interpretation of Data, we are going to be talking about students' vocabulary enhancement and oral performance. This information was based on the general and specific objectives. And we have Table 5.1, Students' Vocabulary. The question was, do you think you have enough vocabulary to express at this level? Students manifested that they were able to construct sentences when producing and receiving information, that they used the vocabulary, grammar structures, and correct pronunciation. On the other hand, other student lacked this ability since he has flunked the subject. This doesn't help him to construct sentences with the correct vocabulary, and also the grammar structures are not presented there. On Table 5.3, Usefulness of in-class activities, the question was, do you consider that speaking activities presented in the class are useful enough to improve your English and oral performance? And the most chosen by students was role plays. Role plays are very important to the intensive intermediate English students. And the students stated that in-class activities are meaningful for their vocabulary enhancement. The students produce the language in the oral form and express their ideas according to the vocabulary studied in the interventions. However, there were some students who did not like to do this kind of fluency-oriented activities since they lack motivation, vocabulary, and fluency. We have graph 5.5, students' level of English vocabulary. The students rated themselves between the intervals 7 and 8, being close to excellent. They had a scale in which they chose from 0 being poor till 10 as excellent. The level of students' vocabulary has improved during the interventions that we provided to them in the different accuracy and fluency-oriented activities we developed inside of the classroom. The level of vocabulary also was improved from those students who flunked the intensive basic subject and attended the reinforcement classes that we were teaching to them. On graph 5.6, students' performance evaluation, we asked the students, and they also manifested that their oral performance is very good. Since they are taking this semester the English subject, it is also better from those who have not taken the subject yet. The different in-class activities that were developed helped them to choose the very good intervals. Also, some of them say that their oral performance in oral evaluations is good, since they like to participate, but sometimes they are too afraid to commit mistakes in front of the teachers. That is why during our interventions, we gave them the opportunity to participate and provided them feedback at the moment so that they will not commit the same mistakes again. One student said his English was bad at first before he went to the interventions. And after the interventions, he said that his English went from 3 per se up to a 7. Since he had acquired more things, he knew how to create sentences with the correct vocabulary and grammar, and he's ready to move forward, even though he will repeat the subject, but he knows a little bit more. To conclude, we have obviously conclusions and recommendations. We created our conclusions based on the different objectives that we had in our research. Also from the research question, which was, will students from intensive intermediate English enhance their vocabulary and oral performance during the development of in-class activities? And yes, their oral performance and vocabulary was enhanced through the different activities that we, the researchers, created to them, since they were created for their level. The students mentioned also that they like to do this kind of in-class activities, for example, role plays, interviews, debates, discussions, etc., but they didn't have enough teacher time developing them, because sometimes they had a practitioner, the teacher was sick, etc. So we gave them the opportunity to have those activities and to also help them enhance the vocabulary, their pronunciation, fluency, etc. We also created the different instruments and 2 hypotheses, one of action and another one of change. And the hypothesis of change was, can students' oral performance and vocabulary be enhanced through the use of accuracy and fluency-oriented activities? And yes, it can be enhanced as well as we know how to apply the different instruments, the different techniques, and the different activities for them, since they are now going forward in the major. As well, they mentioned that they like doing this kind of activities, and it's very important since they are at the beginning of this major. They have to go to other English levels, and right now it is important for us to help them improve. Also, we have recommendations to the students, researchers, and to the teachers. To the students, be conscious of class participation to see if it will help you to continue learning a lot. Also, look for new studying techniques. For example, create a book where you write new words so that you can have your own personal dictionary. You can write the definition, the example, the pronunciation, and an image. Try to listen to music in English or even watch movies in English as well. If you try to spend time with your classmates, if you consider that classes is not enough, you can do it. You can work in pairs, you can work in groups, you can create your own studying group if you would like to. To teachers, implement more in-class activities. We know that we have our lesson plans, but we also need to include other in-class activities so that students can improve their performance. For example, role plays. Students love doing role plays since they can act in any situation. They can pretend to be somebody else. They acquire more knowledge and new vocabulary so that they can express their language. Also, implement different techniques as pair groups. You can also have pairs. You can walk in a classroom in a semicircle so that you can control, and there is also rapport among students and teachers. And to future researchers, you have to help students improve, in this case, oral performance, but you can also create new strategies or create new tools to improve the formatter skills. Remember that students sometimes are too afraid of asking teachers, and here's where you come. You help them by creating action research. You provide them information. You can also set a schedule in which you can meet them and help them. That has been all from us. Thank you very much for your attention.